Hi guys, welcome to today's reading. So we have something a little bit different today. I left this very open-ended. I just wanted it to be a cozy, warm, supportive reading that you could watch while you enjoy a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, get your morning routine started off in a positive way. Whenever you find this video, this is just going to be messages that your guides want to hear. Messages that your guides want you to hear to provide you some support, some comfort. This is a timeless reading, so it doesn't matter when you click on this video. We've got kind of a Golden Girls theme going today. I've used the Golden Girls Tarot theme deck. With Betty White passing, she was on my mind. Of course, she played Rose in the show. This is my favorite sitcom. I've been watching it ever since I was little. And if I'm sick, if I'm feeling down, it always cheers me up. So I thought it would be a very fitting theme to go with the spirit of this reading. Again, it's just meant to be very cozy, just a supportive, warm, happy tarot reading. So we've got 3 groups here today. You can go ahead and pause the video if you already know your selection. The timestamps are in the description box below, like always. For our first group, we've got pile 1. This is Lady Grey Black Tea. For our pile 2, we've got Pure Chamomile. And for pile 3, we've got English Breakfast. So you can pick according to the cards, according to the teas, whatever suits you. We've got the Romance Angels here in case we need to get some love messages. It's just gonna kind of depend on your spread. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's reading. I hope that explanation made sense. It's kind of a little bit different, but yeah, hope you have a great day. All right, all my beautiful pile 1s, if you chose the Lady Grey Black Tea, this is your reading. So we'll put that over there. So we've got the Chariot, the 8 of Swords, and Temperance. So your guides are sending a pretty clear message here. With the 8 of Swords, there's something that has been weighing on your mind pretty heavily. So with the Chariot card, there's a choice that you need to make. And the message that I'm getting is that you've been very much in your head about it. You've been overthinking it. And it seems like the more you weigh the pros and cons of it, the more you try to logically rationalize what is the best choice for me, what logically makes the most sense. The more you sort of build these swords around you, the more you kind of get in this overthinking, anxious thought spiral that you've completely created. So it's like the more you try to solve this problem with your mind, because all of these 8 of Swords are your thoughts, right? You're trapping yourself. You know, there's no way out of this problem. There's no way out of this decision. You've created this blindfold because you've been overthinking it. And so the answer to this is you have to go based upon faith. You have to go based upon feeling. So what choice feels good to you? What choice feels like in your gut is the right way to go? Which option feels the best to you? Because there is no right or wrong, right? Both of these options here can potentially lead to good things. You know, so you're not going to be cosmically punished if you choose the quote-unquote wrong way, right? You're in the driver's seat here. Like, you still have free will. You know, we're meant to make our own choices. We're meant to make our own decisions. And you don't have to have this fear that if you make the wrong choice, somehow you're no longer going to be aligned with your destiny, with your fate, with your soulmate, with your soul's purpose. Whatever it is that you're hoping to manifest, or like the ultimate outcome you're hoping for, whether that's just success in general or peace or love or money, like whatever it is, you can get there. You're in the driver's seat. It's just, how do you want to get there? That is up to you. And so with this 8 of Swords, only you can remove this blindfold. And you do this by balancing thoughts and feelings, right? Because you've been so focused on thinking your way out of the problem. With this Temperance card, you've completely ignored your intuition, the emotional side of it. So take that as it resonates. You know, if it's not jumping out to you right away what this indecision, what this problem is, maybe you need to go with a different pile, or potentially this is a problem that is coming your way and it just hasn't manifested yet. But for a lot of you, I think it's something you've been struggling with for quite a long time, because with the Eight of Swords, it's usually something that you've been obsessing over for quite a while, and that's how you've built up all of these swords. Okay. And I think also, and this may not apply to all of you, but I think for some of you, it could also be that you've been listening too much to the opinions of other people, whether that's close friends or family members, a romantic partner. Because you don't know what to do, you've been asking for advice from everyone else, and everyone else has a strong opinion or a different opinion about what you should do, and it's just adding to the mess. It's just adding to the confusion, and Spirit is saying, your guides are saying, you can't avoid being in this driver's seat, you know? And I mean, Blanche, if you've watched The Golden Girls, she's all about fun, right? Dorothy is the one who's the big thinker, you know? And Rose is very much, you know, one foot in the water. She's very much connected to her feelings. Her thoughts are really much more emotion-based. She feels, you know, she's the most compassionate one of the group. And she also has more of a connection to sort of that childlike wonder, right? Like Rose is a very innocent character. So you need to tap into that fun, innocent, emotional side to yourself. And, you know, logic and rationality definitely have their place. But at this point in time, it's hurting you more than it's benefiting you. Okay, let's see what else we have going here. So I offer words of good intent, and I benefit with gratitude. Okay, so with this gratitude card, it could be for some of you that you're struggling to choose between two really good choices here, right? We see with the two like hot fitness instructors that Blanche has steering her chariot. She has two similar and good options, but they're also very different paths, right? And so it could mean that you are struggling because both of these options have an appeal to them. And so you're kind of in this place of you're obsessing so much about it that the gratitude for even having this choice at all between having these two really good options is getting lost. You know, so like you're disconnected from your sense of gratitude, because being able to have a choice where you could have, you know, two possibilities at happiness is something to be very grateful for, right? We shouldn't be ungrateful for the opportunities that are presented to us. But when we get so caught up in this negative thought spiral, this anxiety, you can disconnect, you know. So maybe for some of you, this is like two really good job offers or two majors that you're really passionate about if you're in college, or, you know, two options in love. Whatever it is, you need to reconnect with this feeling of gratitude for even having the choice. And then I offer words of good intent. So this is kind of going back to that idea of you're not going to be punished if you feel like, you know, what's going to happen if I make the wrong choice? There is no wrong choice. So this words of good intent, your guides trust that you have good intentions. That's why you're being blessed with this choice, this opportunity to begin with. And as long as you make the choice with good intentions, you say that I want to make the choice that, is going to put me in alignment with my soul's highest purpose. I want to make the choice that's going to allow me to be happy, be the best version of myself, so I can give back to others. If you speak that into existence, that's going to help you connect even more with your intuition, and you're going to have the path sort of illuminated for you. You're going to know very clearly in your gut. And if you need practice connecting with your intuition, honestly, watching a bunch of pick-a-card readings like this is a really good way to sort of flex that muscle. I forget which reader I watched. It was so many years ago when she said this, but it made a lot of sense. And I found myself, like, the more I watched readings, the more I was able to find readings, with certain groups that resonated more with me. And I think part of it is just that I was able to select the right group more accurately because I was more connected with my intuition. I would click on a video and I would see like 3 piles, like today's reading, and I'd be like, oh, that one. Like I would know it right away. I wouldn't have to sit there and look and question and be like, oh, should I pick 2 or should I pick 3? Should I pick 1? I would just know right away, oh, that's my group. That group is screaming to me. So if you need help practicing connecting with your intuition more, pick-a-card readings are actually a good way to practice that. Okay, so let's see what else we have going on. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. This makes me laugh. Yes, just say yes. Okay. So for some of you, this choice might be to do something or to not do something. So the universe is saying yes. So if the option is between to not do something or to do something, your guides are saying yes, just do it. For others of you, this is just your guides being like, okay, you've had enough time. You've had too much time to think about this. Stop thinking. Just say yes to one of them. And maybe if you're forced to make a quick decision, maybe that will also make it easier for you to connect to your intuition because you won't even have time to think about it. And then with this rite of passage, crossing the threshold, for some of you, this is going to be a choice where you're sort of moving into a more mature phase. So for some of you, that's going to be crossing over into adulthood. For some of you, it's going to be going up that next level. So for some of you, it's sort of connecting to those milestones. So like getting your first job or getting your first big break, graduating school, deciding which university you want to go to, moving in with, your roommate off campus, or moving in with your boyfriend for the first time, getting married, those sorts of things. You're crossing over into a new chapter, but it's a new chapter that also asks more of you. It encourages you to grow and mature. So, I don't think there's really anything more to say about that. I hope I didn't repeat myself too much with those examples. So I wanted to end this reading with some self-care cards. So these are self-care activities that your guides think would help you during this time. So we've got read. I love to read. If you guys are not big on reading novels, you can also just take this to mean like reading magazines, reading blogs online. You could even extend it to listening to an audiobook, kind of just more so immersing yourself in a story. So, because I know reading isn't necessarily something everyone enjoys, but you could also take that to, like watching a vlog on YouTube if that's something you enjoy. I know there are like story times on YouTube or something like that you could watch if you're not into audiobooks. You could watch a TED Talk. anything like that. I think, or even maybe like listening to your favorite album from start to finish. So just something that connects you with stories would be helpful. And I think really reading to me is such an escape. You get out of your own head, out of your own life, out of your own problems, and you step into someone else's life for a little while, another character, and then you're focused on their motivations, their dreams, their goals, their problems for a while. I think that's what it's getting at with this Eight of Swords. I could see that being so beneficial for you. You could even just call a friend and ask them, to tell, to be like, hey, like, what's going on with you? What's going on in your life? And sort of take a break that way and focus on their problems, or what's going good in their life, support them. I think just getting out of your own head for a while, whatever that looks like, would be great for you. And then we've got Burning Bowl Ritual. So I think also with this intention card that we had here, I offer words of good intent. So if you want to manifest a little bit, it might be good to set an intention. And then in a burning bowl ritual, you can release it. And if you're not comfortable like having a fire, you can always just like rip it up, shred it, just verbally say like, I release this now. You could use crystals, whatever feels good to you. You can always tailor these to something that fits you really well. And last, we've got feelings. So healing begins with feeling. Be gentle with yourself and tender with your heart. So again, there's this message here of connecting with your feelings, connecting with that heart chakra, and getting out of your head, getting out of your anxiety, those anxious thoughts. We know that they are not serving you, right? They're not benefiting you in any way. To continue to think and obsess and harp on it is not going to be helpful. And so with this healing card here, you could also use that with the burning bowl ritual. So if there's something in the past that has been weighing heavily on you, and for some of you, and this may just be a few of you, if you've already made this important choice and now you're looking back on it with regret and obsessing over whether you made the right choice, that could be something also to where don't beat yourself up, set good intentions to manifest what you do want if you are unhappy with your current situation, and then release it and have trust and be easy on yourself. We make our choices with the tools that we have at any given time. So, you can't be so hard on a past version of yourself, because that version of yourself wanted the best for you, right? Like, you always want the best for yourself. And so you were just doing the best that you could with the emotional maturity, the physical resources, the knowledge that you had at that time. And so when you look back on it, it's easy to beat yourself up and say like, how could I have been so dumb or so short-sighted? You were doing the best that you could with what you had at the time. No one goes through this life, I think, without having a few regrets. And so the best thing that you can do for yourself, the kindest thing you can do for yourself, is to accept it, let it go, and start anew. And ask yourself really and truly, what do I want? Like, what does the best version of my life look like? How can I create a life that feels good? Connect with your feelings as much as you can. Get into that Rose and Blanche fun energy again, lighthearted, because you've been really hard on yourself, way too hard. Okay, all my beautiful pile ones, that was your reading. I hope it resonated. Please like, comment, and share, and subscribe, because this is a new channel and it would help me out so much. If you can comment down below if this resonated, a little sunshine emoji I think would be cool. you know, just to bring some more light back, especially because you got the burning bowl ritual here. All right, well, I'll see you guys in my next one, and take care. I'm so sorry, all my pile ones. I keep doing this. I wanted to draw you guys some matchsticks here. So I'm just gonna pick, let's see, why don't we do pile one, pile one. Why don't we do 3? All right, I'm already liking this for you guys. Okay, let's see. Okay. So you've got identify the one thing that you were most grateful for today. So this is your second message here of expressing gratitude. So that could be really helpful. We've got play music that lifts your soul. Again, I think connect and have fun again. I think you guys have been really denying yourself fun lately. And we've got spend time with people who help you to be your best self. So I think, like I said before, maybe calling a friend and just going out, getting out of your house, getting out of your head, your usual environment, may be a really good reset for you. Okay, that pile one concludes your reading. I'm so sorry. I need to be better about remembering to use those. But okay, I'll see you guys in my next one. All right, all my beautiful pile twos, welcome to your reading. This is for those of you who chose the chamomile tea. So we've got the Strength card, the Ace of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. So since this is a general reading, I'm going to list out all of the options that I'm seeing here. So the first message that's coming through is that for some of you, your guides want you to know if you've been single for a while, an opportunity for more self-love as well as new love is coming in. And this could be here, this King of Pentacles. So if you're not interested in males, don't worry. This could just be someone who presents with a more masculine energy. But for most of you, this is going to be an older male. Maybe not significantly older. It could be just that they're more mature or more, how do I put this? Further along maybe in terms of their goals or their status in life. This is someone who very well could be an earth sign since it's Pentacles. So we think Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. This is also someone who is going to be established. That's the word I was looking for. This is someone who's going to be established in their career, someone who's going to be very much on track to achieve or has already achieved their material goals. So someone who is, you know, financially stable, productive, lives comfortably, has their ducks sort of in a row, at least in terms of the material sense, right? Also though, for those of you who are already in a relationship, this is starting a new chapter or a fresh start. So if you've kind of been struggling to connect with your partner, or you've had just some difficult times, more arguments lately, or you just, you know, have been like ships in the night, passing one another without really connecting, you've both been really busy, whatever it is, it's going to vary a lot since this is a general reading, but whatever it is, that difficult time, that difficult cycle is coming to an end, and there's going to be a fresh start. And so with the Strength card here, we can kind of see that you have been very much in your power here. There's this new sense of self-confidence that's coming through, and you feeling better about yourself is going to either open you up to this new love that's coming in, or it's going to allow you to be happier in your current partnership, your current relationship. And so that's also very much reminding me that, or very much making me feel like you're going to be in this Sophia mindset. So if you watch the Golden Girls, Sophia is very blunt. She is able to stand up for herself. She doesn't take any crap, but she's also well loved. Everyone enjoys her. Everyone loves hearing her stories of Sicily. People come to her for advice, for wisdom. So people are going to be respecting you a lot more, but it's going to be because you're, I don't want to say demanding, but you're asking for that respect, and if that respect is not given, you are no longer wasting your time. You're no longer investing in people who do not invest in you. Okay, so let's see what else we have here for you. I'm trustful in my relationships, and I affirm that all life is sacred. Okay, so with this all life is sacred card, it may seem like a bit of a weird message in the context of this reading so far, but the message that I'm getting here is that you're understanding your own self-worth, whereas before you may have been someone who really prioritized other people's needs. You were always thinking about the needs of your best friend, your family, your partner, just other people in general, and you were sort of always at the bottom of that list. But now with the Strength card, with this Leo energy coming through, you are now standing in your power, you're moving yourself up to the top of the list, and you're understanding that you, just like everyone else, are important. And you, just like all other life, are sacred. And so I think that is also sort of re-emphasizing the Ace of Cups with the more self-love that is coming in. You know, you have empathy for other people already. I don't think that you are someone who has ever been short on compassion for other people, but you are now sort of extending that compassion and that empathy towards yourself. You know, you're not giving it all away. You're now being a lot kinder, a lot gentler to yourself as well, which you absolutely deserve. With I am trustful in my relationships, I think that if you've been hurt a lot in the past, now you, because of this new sense of self-respect that you have, you're no longer afraid of other people hurting you, because you know that if they do, you have the strength to walk away, you know, and it doesn't matter if someone else hurts you. You know that feeling is only temporary, because you have such a strong sense of self-love now, such a strong sense of self-worth, that no one can knock you down without you getting back up. And so this trust, you're able to more freely give it, because you know at any moment in time you can take it back. If someone deceives you, the truth will come to the light, because it always does. And then you can redraw your boundaries with that person, or you can decide that person is no longer someone that you want in your life. And so I think this ability now to be more trustful, more open to love for those of you that are single is going to allow this partner to come in. And I think for a lot of you, because of this Strength card here, because of this period of self-growth that you've gone through, for some of you, this could even be a soulmate connection. And what we'll do is we'll draw a Romance Angels card here in just a minute, and we'll get some more information for those of you who are single, who this King of Pentacles is to you, and for those of you in a relationship, what is this fresh start going to look like? We'll pull two different piles there. Because this is a general reading, I want to make sure that I'm, addressing everyone with where they're at in their lives. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. Sorry, I'm going to take a little bit of a drink here. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Oh, we've got boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? And align your life. What is not aligned and needs to change? Okay, so it's very much like what I thought. For a lot of you, you've had, you're probably an empath. You're probably someone who naturally gives other people the benefit of the doubt. And in the past, this has really led to you feeling like a doormat, feeling like people walk all over you, people have not respected you. And fortunately, with the Strength card, you are coming out of that energy. You are now understanding the importance of setting and holding firm boundaries. And it's such the way that she is standing here is very much like Sophia standing by this lion. You are at peace. It doesn't matter how many people come at you, how many people try to take something from you. You are standing in your power. You are in full alignment here. You know that when you say no, that is a complete statement. You know, you don't have to justify or explain yourself to anyone. And if someone is not respecting your boundaries, is always trying to push those boundaries, is putting you in an uncomfortable situation or asking too much of you and never seems to fill up your cup back, they never give back, they just take and take and take, you are not standing for that anymore. And you're really kind of critically assessing these people in your life and asking yourself, does this person add to my life or does this person take from my life? How is this person sort of encouraging me to grow? Does this person want the best for me? Or is this person limiting me? Are they dragging me down? And an easy way to figure that out is just notice how you feel when you get off the phone with them. If you've hung out with them, how do you feel when you're leaving? Do you feel energized or do you feel drained? You know, because even as an introverted person myself, I know that when I spend time with people, I am expending energy, but I also can still tell, you know, how I feel when I get off of a difficult conversation with someone versus when I've had fun, I've laughed. You know, it's a different sort of feeling. I would compare it to like when I exercise, you know, I'm tired at the end of it, but I feel those endorphins, right? I feel that rush, that sort of like peace, relaxed feeling that comes after a really good workout versus how I feel tired after I've sat at my computer and I wrote a really long paper for school. You know what I mean? So it's like that sort of difference in feeling tired or feeling like you've expended energy. If you're an introvert, maybe that example will help you, but notice how you feel. Notice how the people around you make you feel. Okay, with the Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? So for some of you, there is a difficult relationship with a parent that has influenced your ability to trust other people, to be vulnerable, that has, you know, kind of influenced your ability to form like secure attachments with other people. And so I think for a lot of you too, this is encouraging you again to nurture yourself. You know, you give so much to other people. How can you now give back to yourself? You know, with that Strength card, with Leo energy, Leo will always prioritize themselves, right? You know, they're very much a me first sign. I can say that as a Leo myself, but it's true, you know, and it's not selfish. You have to be able to fill up your own cup before you can give to other people. And if you want to be able to give others your 100% best self, you have to be actively taking care of yourself. You know, it's, if any of you watched that Fundamentals of Caregiving movie, that's one of the fundamentals, right? You have to fill up your own cup. You have to take care of yourself before you can give to other people. If you're someone who is taking care of someone else and you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're not doing any type of self-care like whatsoever, what's going to happen? You know, it's the same thing if you're overworking yourself at your job. Eventually you're going to burn out and then you're going to crash. And so it's much better to take care of yourself and set healthy boundaries and be able to sustain that workload longer than it is to work like crazy, burn out, and then end up, you know, just maybe even further behind than you would have been if you had just taken a break when you desperately needed it. Okay, with this alignment, I think this is for you completely talking about relationships. So if there are any people still lingering in your life that are not helping you become the best version of yourself, that are not in alignment, those relationships need to be adjusted. And, you know, this is not saying that you need to cut everyone off. You know, relationships take work and they can all go through rough cycles, but it may just be that you have to have a couple of tough, honest conversations with a few key people in your life, or it means that you need to just adjust how often you see those people, what you share with those people, how you let those people in your life, to what extent do you share your vulnerable side, to what extent do you share your secrets with those people, that sort of thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some love messages for you. So I want to start with my single people. So all of my single pile twos. I think it's funny too that we have the chamomile tea for this reading, because chamomile is very much just a relaxing, soothing tea. And I think of that as a very nurturing tea. And I think that you guys would benefit from, you know, like I said, some self-care, you know, nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself. Okay, all my single pile twos. Let's clarify or get some messages about your love life, about that King of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, single pile twos. Single pile twos. Single pile twos. Oh, okay. True love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So yeah, for quite a number of you here, this could be a soulmate connection that's coming in. And so when you allow yourself to be more open to love, but also to set and hold those boundaries, and get that sense of self-love, self-worth, self-respect, that is going to align you with your soulmate, your next big love. Okay, let's get one more message for my single pile twos. Single pile twos. Passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Okay, so you guys have a very exciting love connection coming through here. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Okay, my single pile twos, congratulations. Okay, so for those of you who are in a current relationship, pile twos who are in partnership, let's clarify the Ace of Cups and the King of Pentacles. My pile twos who are in a relationship, partnership already. Pile twos. Oh, okay. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So for those of you who are already in partnership, this could mean an actual engagement, a proposal of marriage, or it can mean that you're moving in together. Maybe you've decided to get a pet together. You've decided to try to start a family. Whatever that next higher level of commitment, you know, sort of resonates for you, that's what you can expect. Let's get one more card for you since we did two for our singles. So, pile two, those of you already in a relationship. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So for some of you, like I said, you've been so busy with life lately that maybe you and your partner just haven't been able to spend that quality time together. And it could be for some of you, this may not be for all of you, but some of you have been very sort of disappointed or upset that your relationship hasn't moved faster. For some of you, you've been so caught up in like planning the future that you've been disregarding the present moment. And because you've been like, when are they going to propose? When are we going to move in together? When are they going to say, I love you? Whatever it is, because like I said, it's a general reading, but this is encouraging you that when you connect back to that present moment and you are able to find joy, that is when this is going to be able to come through, when you kind of take the pressure off. I think also for those of you who are getting engaged, because that is such a huge step, this is also saying, don't get so stressed out about planning a wedding, especially now. I know it's a difficult time, but don't get so caught up in the stress of wedding planning that you're not enjoying the moment. So make sure you're always connecting to that joy of the moment. Okay. Fix those back. Okay. So now we're going to move on to self-care messages that your spirit guides would like you to try. So we've got make an altar. I love this because you can do so much with an altar to personalize it for yourself. You put in a quiet space, in a space that you find comfortable in your home, a collection of things that you love, things that comfort you, things that make you feel safe, things that make you feel inspired, things that feel beautiful, that Venus energy, right, of aesthetic and beauty and comfort. Create an altar, and then you can do whatever you want at that altar. You can pray, you can meditate, you can do yoga, you can, yoga might be a little bit weird. You can create a gratitude list daily, so start keeping a gratitude journal. You can keep a regular journal, you can have a deck of tarot cards. Well, these are oracle cards, but you can have a deck of tarot cards, and you need to do like a daily pull reading. Sorry, I'm getting tripped up on my words here. I'm getting excited for you guys. Clearly, I am excited about making an altar. You can put crystals at your altar. You can meditate with the crystals. You can, do this for manifestation if you want this to come sooner to you. Whatever it is, but make an altar. Find a few quiet moments throughout your day to connect with yourself, connect with your guides, and do a little bit of self-care. Okay, we've kind of got this message twice. We've got space. So creating like a physical space in your home, but I think also creating mental space in your day just for yourself. So time that is dedicated just for you, because I think for a lot of you, you've been really busy. You've been helping out other people. You've been just sort of loaded down by what others need what others need from you, and it's time to reconnect and focus back on yourself a little bit. So we've got the quality of your life has more to do with what you remove from your life than what you add to it. Give yourself the gift of space. So the quality of your life has more to do with what you remove from your life than what you add to it. Give yourself the gift of space. So for some of you, it could also benefit you to do a little bit of decluttering, making that space for the altar, getting rid of things that no longer serve you. So even like going through your room and decluttering it, going through your home, throwing out things that, you're like, wow, why do I even still have this? Like, this is just trash, or this should be donated to charity. Things that, just don't resonate with you anymore, things that you don't even like, or, just been like junk that you've accumulated. We all accumulate so much stuff. Clearing out space like that gives you more mental clarity. And I do think in a weird way, when we aren't so loaded down by stuff, somehow like manifestation just happens more easily. That's just my suspicion. That's what's been true in my own personal life. I hope that you find it true for you as well. Also, look at the cute little cat. I love these cards. Okay. Then we've got reassess. You have the right to change your mind. This to me is really going back to that earlier message we had of boundaries. It's okay to say no. And it's also okay to reassess the relationships in your life and say, you know, this friendship was enjoyable to me at a time, but I feel like I'm on a different path, or I feel like I've outgrown this person, or I've really matured, but this person has just stayed the same. Or it could even be a job. You know, it doesn't have to necessarily be just, you know, your actual relationships with other people. It could be your relationship with your work. But reassess. You know, just because you started down one path, it doesn't mean that you're stuck in that path. And I think the more that you authentically have experiences and live your life in a way that feels good to you is when everything's going to fall into place and you're going to see improvements in your love life. Because I think a lot of this, to me, has been connected with your close relationships and your romantic partnerships. Okay, so just to wrap it up, I'm going to pull some of these Grace matchsticks. We'll just pick 3 random ones. I just like these two because I feel like they give you all some more direct actions that you can take. And they're just typically small, easy things you can do. Okay, pile 2. What have we here? Do one thing each day that is just for you. Yes. Prioritize yourself, treat yourself. With the strength card here, you are worth it, you are valuable, you matter. Take care of yourself. Okay, remember that how you respond to things is within your control. This to me is going back to this boundaries card that we had here. You know, we can't control how other people act. You know, other people may really test our patience, may really threaten that inner peace that we have, but we know that we can always reclaim our own power. We can't control how other people act, but of course we can absolutely control how we respond to how they act. Don't let anyone, no one is worth you sacrificing your peace, you know, and that can even be, like I said, more general if it's a job or, you know, like I said, a friendship that is no longer serving you, something like that. You know, you don't have to continue to give it your energy. If it means taking a couple days off work, if it means that, you know, if you have an office at your job, you have to stay in your office a bit more, or if you have to say to a friend, listen, I just need to take a few days to myself, you know, then do it. Okay. Think about all the wisdom that you've gained over your life. Yes, you have grown so much. I think with the strength card here, that is very much apparent. A lot of this stuff I'm telling you is probably things that you've already learned or that you know but maybe haven't started implementing yet. But you know, I think that's why for a lot of you who are single, you're connecting with your soulmate, and for those of you in a relationship, you're moving to that next level. And it's because you've matured and you've learned so much and you've grown so much. That's why some of the relationships in your life, you know, you may have outpaced them. Other people may not have caught up to where you're at yet. But you guys have done a lot of inner work already. And so it's just a continuation of that. Your guides are saying that they're so proud of you. And, you know, with that Leo pride, it's time for you to be proud of yourself as well. Okay, so all my beautiful pile 2s, this was your reading. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It would help me out so much. This is a new channel, and I would really like to grow our community. If you guys resonated with this reading, comment down below. Why don't we say with the purse emoji? Because Sophia here, you have her, and she's always with her purse. I'm pretty sure there's a purse emoji. Certainly there has to be one. If not, the lion, but I'm pretty sure there's a purse. Okay. All right, you guys take care and enjoy the rest of your day. All right, all my beautiful pile threes, those of you who chose the English breakfast, this is your reading. So we've got the 10 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Pentacles. I always think it's crazy when I get a reading like this where it's so much of one energy. Because of course, like, you shuffle and you shuffle and you shuffle, and then when the cards come out like this, it's like, oh wow, this person has a lot of changes going on in their material life with all of this Pentacles energy coming through. So pile threes, there's good news and there's bad news. Well, maybe not bad news, more of like a warning here. So with the 10 of Pentacles, there is a lot of financial abundance coming for you, or coming towards you, I guess I should say. There's a big gift here of financial prosperity. And so this is coming through based upon your hard work, though. This is something that isn't like, oh, I just won the lottery type of thing. It's more of something that you have put a lot of hard work and effort into. You planted the seeds of this long ago, and now you're harvesting the fruits of that labor. Okay, so the 10 of Pentacles here, it's not so much about, oh wow, now I'm rich. It's more so about, oh wow, now I have enough. You know, now I'm comfortable, now I'm secure. You know, I don't have to worry if I'm going to make my rent this month. I don't have to worry about not budgeting enough money for groceries or something like that. You have enough. You're comfortable, you're secure with your finances. You don't have that worry with the 10 of Pentacles. That being said, you shouldn't have that worry, but you do with the 4 of Pentacles. So even though there's this message coming through of, you know, you're going to have financial security. If you don't already, you're coming very close to that. But with the 4 of Pentacles, it's likely that maybe you grew up not having enough, or you grew up, you know, just being taught that, you know, save, 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 budget, budget, budget. You know, don't spend your money frivolously. And it's not that that's not good advice, right? It's a good advice, but when anything is taken to an extreme, it can become something negative. So with the 4 of Pentacles here, even though financially you have enough, even though you're secure, you're so afraid of losing that security that you're afraid to spend anything, right? You're afraid to let it go. You're holding on to it so tightly that you can't even enjoy it. And so the message here is that it's all about balance, right? So it's good to prioritize paying all of your bills, right? We have to do that. We have to be financially responsible. But you also can't have this lack mentality, or you won't grow past that 10 of Pentacles and into abundance, right? So you have security, but everyone wants abundance. Like, you have enough, but it would feel great to have more than enough, wouldn't it? With that 2 of Pentacles, it's encouraging you to remember balance. So enjoy your money, right? Like, if you think of the energy of money, if we think of money as a person, which is kind of a weird concept, but just roll with it. If we think of money as a person, wouldn't it feel good to be spent? Like, wouldn't it feel good to be money and know that, you know, you're being spent on something fun, something that's going to bring enjoyment to someone else? You know, you don't want to sit in a bank all day. So it's about balance, right? So it's good to save, but it's also good to know when to treat yourself and when to enjoy your money. It doesn't benefit anyone for you to hold on so tightly to your money forever. So if there's something that you've been wanting to purchase that you've been holding back on, it might be nice to spend a little to enjoy yourself. And for some of you, it could be too that you're putting off sort of advancing in your life out of fear. So like, for example, like maybe you've been a renter and you want to buy a home, but you're scared. And so you're holding on so tightly to money that is meant to be a down payment on a house, but you're so afraid of spending it, you don't want to make that investment yet because you've never had so much money before in your life. And you're afraid of like, well, what if I choose the wrong house? And like, that's a really big choice and that's a really big decision. And I've never had this much money. And gosh, to give all that money away for a down payment, I'm scared. And so you're holding on to it too tightly. And, you keep renting even though you could be building equity in a home, that kind of thing. Or maybe you really want to change your career, but you're too scared of investing the money for night classes, something like that. There's something with this Four of Pentacles that it's holding you back. And it could also just be damaging to your mental health if you're constantly worried about money, even though you have enough. Or maybe you have that lack mentality of like, your bills are all paid, you don't have to worry about it, but you do keep worrying about it because you don't feel like you're financially at the place that maybe some of your friends are at. Or maybe you keep comparing yourself so much to other people that you're like, well, yeah, I have a good car and yeah, I'm able to make my car payment every month, or my car is paid off, but I don't have this really nice, I don't know anything about cars. I don't have this really nice luxury car that my friend has. You're in that lack mentality. So it's encouraging you to be grateful, because 10 of Pentacles is something to be so grateful for. And it's about that balance with the Two of Pentacles here. You can't be your guides are lovingly telling you, don't be a cheapskate. And don't have that scarcity mindset, and just be mindful of the importance of gratitude, I would say. Okay, let's see what else we have going on. I spread joy and I embrace the all. This is kind of an interesting message that's coming through, but with the Four of Pentacles here, to keep harping on this card, with this spreading joy, money is good to have for ourselves and it's good to have that security, but it's also nice to be able to give back. And so when you get more in this Two of Pentacles energy, and when you start to realize I have enough, and because I have enough, I can keep growing to where I have more than enough. And when you have more than enough, when you get to like the Six of Pentacles, from this Four of Pentacles, then you're able to give back to others. And so with the Spread Joy card, it's encouraging you to not only, spend a little money on yourself, treat yourself, but also it can be nice to spread that joy to other people. So for example, like if you had really supportive parents who helped you get through college, and now you have a great paying job that allows you that Ten of Pentacles, that financial security, or if you've just gotten a job like that, it could be nice to take your parents out to a nice lunch. It doesn't have to mean go bankrupt treating yourself and other people, but it could be good to spread that joy back a little bit. Or, like if you're like me and you're a big cat lover, maybe go purchase something that, donates money to a charity, like, or just go and donate money to a charity, something like that. Could, when you give back, you get more back, and it's definitely a circular flow here. And so you just can't hold on so tightly and be afraid to share with others, And with this I embrace the all, it's again sort of about that collective energy, but also understanding that, because for some of you, I feel like there may be an energy here of being a workaholic. Even with the English breakfast. So, that's a black tea. it has a little bit of caffeine in it, right? You get up and you go and you work and you accomplish stuff. You know, a lot of you may be an earth sign, or that's a dominant modality in your birth chart. But, you know, you could be a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, or have, like I said, maybe like some 10th house placements as well. But I think career is a big focus for you. Your finances, your material wealth, you know, the material items that you have in your life. You know, you're someone who really prioritizes, like, I want a nice house. I want a nice car. I gotta look good. You know, stuff like that. Nothing wrong with that. My rising sign is in Capricorn, so I get it. But there's also more to life, right? There's more to life than this material world that we can see in the 3D. You know, spirituality is important. Connections with others, our close friendships, our family members, love is important. And so it's encouraging you also, don't get so caught up in, you know, keeping up with the Joneses and making sure that you have all of this security. It's so important, but it's not everything. You know, so your guides are, you know, gently trying to suggest, you know, getting back to these other areas of your life and putting a little bit more focus on them. And when you have a more balanced life, I mean, look at Blanche's facial expressions here. There's a big difference between how she feels here and how she feels here. And you've done it before. So you can absolutely get back to this place again and enjoy this 10 of Pentacles, because the way you're at now, you're not even enjoying it. Okay. So we've got get grounded, empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. So I think with this connect with nature, especially if you're an earth sign, this can be very helpful for you and a little bit easier for you to get grounded here. You know, take some time out, get some peace, take a walk in a park, that sort of thing. Maybe go by the water, whatever sort of resonates with you. Go visit a botanical garden, whatever you have available to you in your area. I know that can definitely vary for you guys, but connecting with nature, taking a time out will kind of get your mind off of, I got these bills to pay and I'm trying to get this promotion, and you know, I want to learn more about investing, and you know, all of those sort of money matters. Just disconnect for a while. Even doing some yoga, even if you know you for whatever reason can't leave your home, or you don't have a lot of like nature available to you, just doing some yoga. You can watch you know, some of those like meditative videos they have on YouTube that just show you pictures of nature. Whatever works for you, whatever is feasible for you, just try it. Take some time out. You could even do like some essential oils or like some candles that smell of nature, that remind you of nature. You know, some fresh scents that could also help you connect with nature if, you know, like whatever reason, maybe like ability wise, you're not able to get out much. And we have the Age of Light, the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. So you're a very capable person. And I think that's part of what drives that workaholic kind of side to you, that you know you can do so much, you know you can accomplish so much, you know you have the work ethic, the drive, the intelligence, the talent, you know, you have all of that at your disposal. And I think sometimes you put a lot of pressure on yourself. You get sort of that in that hustle culture type of thing where you know you're capable of so much. Sometimes you take on too much and you try to do too much and you're really hard on yourself, and you know, you don't take that time out for yourself. You don't take time to disconnect from it all. You know, you don't want to ever feel like you're falling short of your potential, but in a weird way, you do yourself a disservice. All of this pressure on yourself, does it drive you to succeed? Yes, but it also drives you to burn out. And so there's just this message of, hey, remember, it's important to connect to your spirituality. It's important to nurture your close friendships and partnerships. It's important to prioritize love. Like, there's more to life than just obtaining and gaining success. Because I think this drive to obtain things, to obtain a higher level of material wealth, is so central to your focus that it kind of clouds your vision for other things. And I think this is a lesson that maybe you've had to learn in a past life, and maybe you weren't successful at it in a past life, and so now it's carried over. And it's something that, you know, each life that you've been reincarnated, you're learning more and learning more. And, you know, I think in this lifetime, this is the life that you have the best chance so far, because you've learned so much over these past reincarnations of how important it is to have a balanced life. And I think that is something that you're coming into, something that you've started to realize is important. Yes. I was going to say something else with that. I would say, again, with that sort of disservice to yourself, I think that if you would ease up on that inner critic, and if you would cut yourself some slack and just relax, treat yourself, spend time with others, give back to others. I think if you spend some time doing that, you would find that you then return to your work, you return to those projects with more energy, more passion, more genuine enthusiasm, and you would actually find more success. So I think that you would also, over time, redefine your view of what success is. Because I think sometimes also, when you start obtaining and obtaining and obtaining, and you have all of these external accomplishments, you realize over time, those things, while they feel good in the moment, that feeling doesn't last. So for example, like, if you move into your dream home, you're going to be so excited, but over time, you're going to get used to living in that house, and it's going to become your new normal. And then when it becomes your new normal, then you want more, right? Like, if you forget that sense of gratitude, you're always going to want more. It's like people who go from being very poor to then very rich, talk about that sort of, I forget exactly what it's called. I think it's lifestyle inflation, I think is the term. But they find themselves like making more money, so they're spending more money. And they spend so much money, and they get accustomed to nicer and nicer things, and then they want more and more and more. And then even though they have so much abundance, now they have lost that sense of security because they're spending so much more than they ever did when they made less. And I could see with that Four of Pentacles, maybe that's what you're trying to avoid. But the message from Spirit is saying that you won't even have to worry about that if you would just redefine your definition of success and expand your perception of it, and understand that success isn't just about the material world. It's about the internal, how you feel about yourself, your inner peace, your inner self-confidence, your inner sense of self-worth. And it's also about your relationships with other people and your connection to Spirit. So I hope all of that makes sense. But I think that is something that's coming through pretty strongly for you guys. Okay. So actually, even though we didn't have any love messages for you all, because we talked about really expanding your focus. That's a good way of saying it. Because we talked about expanding your focus. I didn't do it for pile 1. I did do it for pile 2. Pile 2 had a lot of love messages. For you guys, I do want to get a Romance Angels Oracle card just to see what is happening in your love life, because even though I can tell you guys have been not really very focused on your love life, maybe it's time to get focused on it and to expand your focus. Okay, so love messages for my pile 3s. Any love messages for my pile 3s? Love messages, or just general relationship messages for my pile 3s. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. So get connected with your friendships. If you're feeling overwhelmed and overworked, let your friends help you, even if it's just providing you emotional support. You know, or if you, I used to have a friend who would get so stressed about organizing her house and she just wanted someone to come over and help her do it. Something like that, you know, like if you've been neglecting your home because you've been so busy with work, something like that. Just spending time with friends, getting support from friends, I think would definitely benefit you. Okay, let's get one more message for my pile 3s here. Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with other people. Yeah, so if there's any, I could see you guys being like this. There may be some discomfort around expressing your feelings. You know, especially I think for my earth signs or my people who are very much career-oriented sometimes. Feelings and making yourself vulnerable, especially if you're a very success-driven person, it can create some anxiety. So if there's been some heart-to-heart conversations that you've been putting off, might be time to start to focus on those. So, you know, this doesn't have to be romantic. For some of you it is. But for some of you it could mean that, you know, you've been so focused on your goals that you've been really neglectful of your friendships, neglectful of your family. Might be time to be honest and to open up and to say you're sorry and start to rebuild those connections. Or, you know, if there's something else that's going on that we haven't even touched on in this reading, it might be time to go ahead and have, you know, an open dialogue with that person. Okay, let's get some self-care messages for you guys. We've got sing. I love that. I think you guys need to have some fun, be silly. I mean, she's singing into a hairbrush, right? Sorry, my cat is like tearing up her cat scratcher. I wonder if the camera picked that up. She's like biting it off and chewing it. Okay, sorry guys. Sing, yes, have some fun. Movement, so maybe you should dance too. With this is really reminding me of this get grounded. So, you know, she's doing the tree pose here, so maybe some yoga would be really helpful for you guys. And then, oh, love. Yeah, so maybe you guys have been really neglecting your love life here. Or your, I think in general for you guys, just your close relationships with others. Your friendships, your family. So we've got love people, love them with all of your heart. Just be sure to love yourself first. Yes, I think for some of you too, because of this drive for success, and believe me, I'm one of these people, so I can definitely relate to this, as I'm sure a lot of us can. But if you're a success-driven person, sometimes there's this big focus on getting external validation because we want others to see us as successful. We want others to be impressed by us. We want certain people to be proud of us. We want to show that we're capable, that we're intelligent, that we're hardworking. You know, we want other people to recognize all of these good qualities that we have. And, you know, that kind of disconnects us over time from our internal validation and our internal motivations. And we forget our passion. Like, we forget, like, why we even have this drive to start with. And sometimes, too, with that, trying to obtain material wealth, it's, again, like, we want to be able to show people that we're successful when there's no need for that, right? Like, we know what we've done with our lives. We know who we are. We know what we've accomplished. We don't need other people's applause. You know, you don't need the recognition. It's a nice cherry on top, but you don't need it. And so I think there's also a message here of remember what's truly important. That's your connections with others and your connection to spirit. Ultimately it's all about connection. Who are we without others? But, the important part of that connection is love. It's not getting validation or getting recognition or getting applause. Those things are nice, but they're not really what's important, and they're not really what feeds our soul. Okay, I'm sorry, Gracie? That's my cat. She's just creating chaos. I'm so, quit! Okay, so we're gonna get a couple more self-care activities. So pile three. These are just gonna be 3 activities that you guys can do. Okay, so we've got make a list of all the possessions that bring you joy. So that's interesting. So I think this one is kind of making you reassess, because I bet the things that bring you joy are things that have emotional meaning, or things that have good stories behind them, or someone close to you bought it for you, or things that are connected to your hobbies, your passions, your interests. So like, for me it would be like my books, right? Because I love to read, or my journals because I love to write. Like if you're a musician, it could be your instrument. Those are the things that spark joy. I bet you it's not going to be the things that were the most expensive. Okay, that's a good little message for you guys. Thank a person who has helped you. So when you ask your friends for help, like this other card suggested that we had way back here, let your friends help you, then you can say thank you. Seek to understand people instead of judging them. So maybe, in this quest for external validation, you've also been a little bit guilty, like a lot of us have, where because you're so critical of yourself, you are also hard on others. You have really high expectations of yourself, and you expect other people to be with it. I am so guilty of this. Like, I think laziness is something that, like, it's like gross to me. Like, I'm like, really? But really I should cut people some slack, right? Like, I don't know what someone else is going through in their life. None of us do, right? So just remember to have compassion and empathy for others. You never know what someone else is struggling with, what they're going through. And I think in the process of being kinder to yourself, you'll be able to extend that kindness to other people. I had someone once tell me, self-discipline is great, but what if you could have self-compassion instead? And that has really just struck me for the longest time, and I find myself repeating it to myself whenever I get in that habit of overworking myself and extending myself too much, because I'm always trying to push myself. And I just want you to know, pile 3, you're not alone in that. I hope you don't feel judged in any way. Your guides are just really trying to both recognize and applaud your success, but also kind of warn you about the darker side of that, the shadow side to that, because there's a shadow side to everything, right? So they don't want you to fall into what is really like a common trap, right? Because we hear all the time about celebrities, crazy rich people who are still not happy, are still not fulfilled. And so the overall message I think here for you guys is there's more to life, and never lose sight of that. Okay, all my beautiful pile 3s, this was your reading. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you resonated with this reading, comment down below, let's see, a bumblebee, because I think you guys are my little worker bees. I'm pretty sure there's a bumblebee emoji. I need to familiarize myself with these emojis. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is one. Yeah, so this was your reading. Like I said, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, because This is a new channel and it would help me out so much. I'm really trying to grow our community here. I'm sorry for the disruptions from my little cat Gracie. She's now, of course, being like a little angel. She's like on this cat tree that's a flower, and she's being so serene now because we're about done. But anyway, take care, and I'll see you guys in my next one.